Alright, so today we are looking at how to find the surface area of prisms. So last year you guys learned how to find surface area by finding the area of each of the faces. So if I have my rectangular prism, we found the area of each of the faces and added them together. Okay, or on my triangular prism, we found the area of our faces and added them together. This year, you will be given a formula on your formula chart. Okay, so our formula on our formula chart, if you look down under surface area for prism, you have two. We have one for lateral and one for total. Okay, we're going to start with the total surface area. So remember that total surface area is finding the area of all of the faces. Okay, so to start off, our formula is going to be big P H plus 2 big B. Okay, so we talked about last year that we know that big B is going to be our area of our base. Okay, so big B still stands for area of our base, just like it does in volume. Okay, so P, the big P, is going to stand for the perimeter of the base. Okay, and then height is going to be your, or H is your height, excuse me, or your distance between your bases. Okay, so on my rectangular prism, if this is my base, okay, I'm going to find the perimeter of my base, and then this would be my height, the distance between my bases. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at our first example. Okay, so on our first example, we have a rectangular prism. So my base is going to be this bottom rectangle down here. Okay, and then technically my top rectangle up here. So if I have the perimeter of the base times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, I'm finding the area of both bases, that's why it's 2 times the big B. Okay, and when I find the perimeter is giving me the distance around the sides. So then when I multiply by height, it's going to give me the area of all of those faces. Okay, so for our perimeter, it's going to be this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. So it's side plus side plus side plus side times our height, or our distance between our bases, plus 2 times the area of our base. So our base is the shape of a rectangle, so I need to find the area of a rectangle. And I find area of a rectangle as base times height. Okay, now that I know what I'm looking for, let's go ahead and plug in our numbers. Okay, so I'm going to have 6 plus 9. Excuse me, 6 plus 9. This side is also going to be 6, and this side is also going to be 9. So another plus 6 plus 9. My height, the distance between my bases, is going to be right here. So my height is going to be 5. Plus 2 times my base of my rectangle and my height of my rectangle on my base. So that would be 9 times 6. Okay, so now that I have all of my numbers, I can go ahead and plug all of those in to the calculator. So when I add up my 6 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9, I'm going to get 30. So 30 times 5 is going to be 150. Plus 2 times, well, 6 times 9 is 54. Then 2 times 54 is 108. So 150 plus 108 is 250. 58. And then we have meters, and because we're talking about area, it's going to be squared. So that would be my answer for my total surface area for my rectangle prism, my rectangular prism. Okay? Go ahead and try the first practice on your own. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at our triangular prism. Okay, so remember, a triangular prism means that my base is a triangle. Alright, so that's going to change my formulas up a little bit. Alright, I still have the base formula, which is the perimeter of the base times the height, plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, so this time, my perimeter of my base is going to be this triangle, because I have triangles. It's not going to be the bottom side that it's sitting on. They put the triangular prism on its side. Okay, so the triangle is my base. Remember, whatever you are naming the shape is what the base is. So on a triangle, I only have 3 sides. So my perimeter is going to be side plus side plus side, times my height, or the distance between my bases, plus 2 times the area of my base. So my triangle is my base, so I find area of a triangle as base times height divided by 2. Okay, so our formula is a little bit different this time. Okay, not much, but a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug in the numbers that I have. So my triangle is going to be 3 plus 4 plus 5. The height of the triangle, or the triangular prism, is right here. It's the distance between those 2 triangles. So the height is going to be 4 plus 2 times the area of the base. So your height and your base, remember, have to make a right angle. So my right angle is right here. So my height is 3 and my base is 4. So 3 times 4, and then because remember it's a triangle, we have to divide by 2. Okay? So 4 plus 3 plus 5 is going to be 12. Then 12 times 4 is going to be 48. And then over here, we're going to have 4 times 3 is 12. Then 12 divided by 2 is 6. So then 2 times 6 is 12. So 48 plus 12 is going to be 60 yards squared. Okay? You can put the formulas right into the calculators, but just be careful. Make sure that you have your parentheses where you need to have your parentheses so that the calculator is doing the correct steps in the correct order. Okay? Or find each piece and then add them together. Okay, so that is our example for our triangular prism. Go ahead and try the practice 2 on your own. Alright, so now we're going to look at lateral surface area. Okay, so when you look at lateral surface area, remember, lateral surface area is only the area of the lateral faces. So on a rectangular prism, if these are the bases, then I only need to find the area of the middle faces, not the bases. So remember that lateral surface area is only the area of the lateral faces, not the bases. Okay, so if you look on our formula chart, okay, this one's going to be part of what we already did. Okay, it's just going to be the perimeter of the base times the height. Okay, so when you are finding total surface area, you find the lateral surface area, and then you add the area of the 2 bases. Okay, so this should be a little bit easier than finding total surface area. All right, so our P is still going to stand for our perimeter of our base. And then our eighth is going to stand for the height or the distance between the bases again. Alright, so let's look at our first example. Okay, so we have a rectangular prism. Okay, so whatever the rectangular prism is sitting on is going to be its base. Okay, unless the problem tells you otherwise, we're going to assume that whatever it's sitting on is the base. So we're assuming that this rectangle is our base. Okay, so I have the perimeter of the base times the height. So our perimeter, we have 4 sides, so it's going to be side plus side plus side plus side times our height. Okay, so our sides of our base are going to be 11 plus 3, and then we'll have 11 and another 3. And then our height is going to be the distance between those bases, so right there. Okay, so 11 plus 3 plus 11 plus 3 is 28. So then I have 28 times 9. So 28 times 9 is going to be 252. This is going to be meters squared, because we are talking about area, so our units will always be squared. Okay, try practice 1 on your own. If the numbers are hard to read, I'll rewrite them for you. So we have 8, 3, and 3. Okay, so this one's going to be tricky. Where's your base going to be? Alright, let's go ahead and look at our example for a triangular prism. Okay, so for a triangular prism, our base is going to be the triangle. Okay, our base is the triangle. Okay, we're still going to have the perimeter of the base times the height. So how many sides does a triangle have? 3. So our perimeter is going to be side plus side plus side. And then our height times our height. So on our triangle, we have a base of 10 plus a side 13 plus 13. And then our height is going to be that distance between the two triangles. So times 15. So 10 plus 13 plus 13 is 36. And we have 36 times 15. And then 36 times 15 is 540 millimeters squared. Okay, so go ahead and try practice 2 on your own.